Hey guys, welcome today. I'm Noah Lance, and this is
Dylan Rice.
and we are
The Home Gurus.
All right, guys. I just want to first off say thank you to everybody who called in yesterday for our giveaway. 2 tickets to the Doobie Brothers and an Arctic cooler. Some really good things going on there. So we're so thankful for the support that we've gotten on everything there. And now I think it's time to announce the big winner. All right, drum roll, please. Ooh. Ashley Ward! Hey! Thank you so much, Ashley, for calling in and just giving us your support and everything. And just thank you so much. All right.
We'll be in touch. Be sure to keep your phone on you, ready for your client or for your agent to give you a call for a good time for you to come by and pick it up.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hey guys, welcome to Lunch and Learn today. My name is Noah Lance, and this is
Dylan Rice.
All right, just kind of go over. I just want to give a little personal touch about myself first. So I'm an OSA. That means I'm an outside sales agent. My job within the office is just to go out and find you a home. Just a little personal touch, right? I've been trying to get back into soccer. It's something I always did growing up and everything, and it's something that I can do to connect with my clients and everything. Just a little boot and everything.
Hey guys, like I said, my name is Dylan Rice. I'm also an OSA, outside sales agent. So keeping pretty busy over the summer. I hope everyone's had a great time. Staying out of the heat as much as they can. But yeah, a little bit about me. We've been running around like crazy trying to show houses and keep our clients happy, make sure that we find the right homes for you. It's been a really busy summer. Hadn't had too much time to kind of do stuff for ourselves, but I've been really enjoying running around with my clients, showing them beautiful houses, and I look forward to working with you, some of y'all.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the market, all right?
Cool.
So we want to talk a little bit about frequently asked questions that we get as a team and just individuals ourselves from our clients. So pitfalls or mistakes that we should avoid in this process and everything. So let's talk a little bit about sellers. So something Dylan had mentioned earlier, we were talking off camera, and he was talking about how some people can get emotionally attached to their houses and everything. And I totally get that and everything. You grow up in these houses, you make memories in these houses, but at the end of the day, you need somebody who knows the numbers and who can talk to you about the numbers and everything.
Yeah, I think the big point on that is just, especially for sale by owners, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I know people want to try to do it themselves. I have no issues with that. My issue is really just the best way to sell your property in the right amount of time for the right price and make sure everything goes through smoothly is to hire someone that does it on a regular basis. And like he kind of mentioned before, with the sometimes emotional attachment or just wanting to get your bang for your buck, hiring an expert, getting the right numbers, and getting it out there as quick as possible is the best way to do it.
Yeah, and going back to that for sale by owners and everything. So we don't always. A recent stat shows from NAR, the National Association of Realtors, shows that for sale by owners, only 8% of the time are able to get that transaction from start to finish. So we're talking 92% of the time they're having to bring a realtor or an expert in to help them get it to the finish line and just kind of take the headache away from you and everything. So now we're going to kind of talk about the buyer side, maybe the pitfalls of the buyers. So pre-approvals, we're seeing a lot of people that are not getting pre-approved before they're looking for their homes, and we want to make sure before we go shopping, we want to know how much money we have in our wallet, right? So yeah, that's a big one on pre-approvals.
Yeah, the only thing I'd probably tack onto that also with buyers is working with an agent always is the best idea to get you with the right lender, find the right opportunities for better cost, and also to not get too wrapped up on the interest. I know that's a crazy thing to kind of hear, but at the same time, one saying that we like to say pretty often is marry the property, date the rate, or maybe that's a little flip. But the idea is to get into your dream home. Try to get the best opportunity that you can, talking to us and other experts out there, lenders that we know are going to get you in the best setup that we can. And then over some time, most people actually only stay in their properties for about 5 to 7 years. But well before that, you could actually take another look at refinancing down the road. So there's always opportunities. You just kind of have to reach out to someone that knows a little bit more about it and find out.
Yeah, so going back to that, I just thought of another pitfall for the buyers and everything. So something I've noticed recently is that buyers they're only talking to one lender and everything. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
It's pretty common, man.
Yeah, so make sure that you're not talking to just one lender. Make sure you're talking to a couple different lenders. I know I hear it all the time, well, I got pre-approved for this. Okay, well, who did you go with? Have you talked to these people? Have you talked to these people? Maybe they could help get your pre-approval up here, maybe get you a lower interest, a different down payment, a zero down payment if that's something that interests you. So going on to the next thing, what's happening in this area? How could it impact the home prices and everything? So a lot of what we're seeing right now is we're starting to see more affordable homes start to come back up on the market. There for a while, we weren't seeing anything really under 230. Now we're starting to see 180s pop up again and everything. And so that is fantastic for people who are trying to buy a starter home, or maybe they're trying to get into a home that has less hassle with it. They don't want to clean the bigger houses and everything. And I get that. I don't like cleaning either. So.
Another big thing about that is what I've noticed recently is a lot of new constructions and builders out there really ramping up the business and bringing a lot of opportunities out here, especially when it comes to lower interest. If that's something we talked about earlier, piquing your interest there. And on top of that, other down payment assistance for closing costs, different opportunities out there. That's been very big in all the areas around here. Horn Lake, Byhalia, South Haven, Olive Branch. Even Hernando, I believe, has a couple different spots I've heard of recently. So there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, so if low interest piques your interest, call us. But no, what he's talking about, we call it a builder's boom. Not as many people are putting their house up for sale right now. So these builders come in and they provide that for people who are looking for houses and everything. All right. So how can I increase the selling price? Do I need to make repairs or hire a stager? And the short answer is it kind of depends on your situation, right? So, maybe you want to make some repairs. Maybe you want to declutter, clean up, and just do a little lawn maintenance. Just make it look nice and everything. A stager can always help, I guess, and help with those things.
Yeah. Well, one big thing about that is I've noticed people, especially those that were trying to sell it themselves, would make repairs on the property, but not make probably the best repairs, in my opinion. Not necessarily that the repairs themselves were bad, but the fact that they would maybe replace flooring with something I wouldn't usually recommend, because out there's a lot more people with a different interest.
Yeah.
So really talking to an agent beforehand, walking through the property and getting a better estimate on what you think is worth repairing, so you can save money, really make your house look beautiful, whether it be small things like just fixing up the flower bed or painting the walls, repairing floors, different things like that. There's tons of different things that you could look through and think about, but hiring an expert that actually does it regularly is your best bet.
Yeah, so like he said, there are much more cost-effective ways than just putting, the biggest, prettiest chandelier or, slap it on a new roof. Unless you need a new roof, then you might want to slap it on. But talk to an expert. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you out with those and just kind of answer those questions for you.
Sure.
All right, let's see. All right, so more frequently asked questions. Should I be concerned about foreclosures in the markets?
Yeah. So foreclosures have peaked a little bit more recently versus over the last couple years, but at the same time, they're nowhere near what they were years prior to that. Especially a lot of people bring up the old 2008, 2009 issues that we had back then, and we're nowhere near there. The one recommendation that I have is, first off, thinking back towards one of the other questions we had asked prior, is pricing your property accurately. And when you go buy properties, making sure you stay within your price range.
Yeah.
That's one benefit to go ahead and think about now. But on top of that, if someone is in potential foreclosure, feel free to reach out to an agent, because what a lot of people don't know is there's actually a lot of opportunities that we could come in and try to sell the property before anything gets to that point.
Yeah, so the equity that you built up in that property, you don't want to lose that. That's a hard work, sweat, tears, hours. You don't want to lose that. So make sure you reach out to someone. I know some people get embarrassed about it, but it's nothing to be embarrassed about. We're here to help. We're here to ease the transition and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so foreclosures kind of steadying out and everything. Nothing crazy there, so that's really good. Shouldn't be worried about that. So how do we help buyers stand out? So
well, one of the big things that I like to tell buyers is when we talk through different offers that we're going to make, we have to backtrack a little bit and think about what you were approved for, whether that be amount or the type of loan. Obviously, the condition of the property and different things that we look at when we show up there. Is it a couple days on the market? Is it a month or two on the market? So all these different factors come into play, but the idea is to kind of estimate or understand what that seller's thinking. And when you come in, make sure that you have the best possible offer, especially in a multiple offer situation, so you don't get beat out over $500 or $1,000. You could be missing out on your dream home.
Absolutely.
All these different factors make a difference.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of things that we go into detail about and everything about how we help our buyers. But really, I want to kind of touch on contracts a little bit. The way that we do our contracts here at the Home Gurus, we're just very thorough. We have transaction coordinators that help us, and they're going to go over, they're going to double, triple check it and everything. Making sure you're getting the closing costs that you need and everything. We're just going to make sure we have you from start to finish and everything. So, you don't have to worry about anything. We're going to take care of it all for you.
yeah, good stuff.
All right. Is there a lot of competition in the market today? Well, it depends on what you're talking about. So sellers, is there a lot of competition with sellers?
Yeah. Oh, so it's actually funny you say that. So because the demand is so low right now, or the supply, let me rephrase that, because the supply is so low right now for sellers and different houses out there on the market, there's actually a lot of demand for buyers trying to get out there. I've seen a lot of multiple offers happen, especially because people usually have a good agent that get it prepped up, ready to go on the market, and set it up for the right price, market it out well, and those homes can go on the market Thursday and be gone by Sunday. So there's definitely a lot of competition out there, especially if you rely on a good agent who kind of teaches you through it and how you should do things.
Yeah. So not just going off the sellers, but let's go on to the buyer side. Is there competition with buyers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots of competition with buyers. When it's all supply and demand. So if you have not a whole lot of something, but you have a lot of people trying to buy, they're all going to be trying to gobble it up, right? So especially, it's going to depend on your motivation too. So people are saying, oh, well, interest rates might be high now, so I'm going to wait till, interest rates drop or something.
Right.
But the cost of missing out is a whole lot more than the cost of waiting, right? So like he said earlier, marry the house, date the rate. You don't want to wait till the interest rates drop. You want to go ahead and get in, and then when the interest rates drop, then you can go ahead and refinance. Yeah. You'll be sitting pretty in your perfect home, Is now a good time to buy?
Oh yeah. So there's always opportunities, especially if you don't know what you don't know. So that's why I keep emphasizing reaching out to an agent, especially whenever we have local lenders here that we work with pretty regularly.
Mhm.
So we're on top of walking through the finances with you, getting you to the lender where they can really dig deep and make sure your credit's on point,
Yeah.
that you're approved for certain amounts of money to bring in good offers, obviously, and to make sure that whenever we go look at properties, that we have confidence and leverage that we can actually purchase the property and come in strong.
Yeah.
So,
And to really hammer that nail home, like I said, marry the house, date the rate. You want to go ahead and get in while, before everybody else does, because if you wait until those interest rates drop, how many other people are waiting until those interest rates drop too?
everybody.
So if the competition is already high, it's only going to get steeper.
Yeah.
So go ahead and get with an expert, talk to us, let us help you out. All right. So don't miss out on the home you want. What have I been saying?
Man, it's tough out there. So tough with all this competition. But at the same time, think about it. If you wait till the best time, then all the other people waiting for the best time to go all hit it at the same time. So whether you want it now or in 5 years, because everybody knows, I'll wait a day, I'll wait a week, all of a sudden a couple of years pass by. That's how life tends to go pretty often. So you don't want to miss out on the homes that are currently out there, especially if one is perfect for you. And you want to work with a good agent that's able to keep you up to date as things are going quick.
Yeah. And you're telling me I could go ahead and be building up my equity today?
It's crazy talk.
But we just want to look out for you. We don't want you missing anything.
Yeah.
All right. So it's now a good time to sell.
Oh,
Yes. So like we said, supply is kind of low right now. We're having kind of a builder's boom, but not all people want new construction, right? So if we can go ahead and get you on the market, get you in multiple offers while everybody's looking, you're going to get the best deal for your house, and you're not going to have to worry about it. You can go ahead and work on moving into your dream house.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, you kind of nailed every point there, especially since we've been talking about it before. There's a lot of buyers out there, but not a lot of inventory for them to move into. So if you really price it at the right amount, reach out to an expert and get that marketing out there, that's when you're going to start seeing multiple offers just coming right at you.
So we're seeing a lot of people, they're trying to take advantage of their equity, all right? And they're going to take that equity and they're going to put it into their next house, and they're just going to stair step it up. I just helped one couple out. They moved here from Texas and bought a really nice house. I was so blessed to be able to work with them and everything. And so what they've been doing is they bought 6 houses in the last, I think, 8 or so years. And so every time they would take the equity from that house, put it in the next house, so their payment would stay the same, and they would just keep stair stepping into a bigger, nicer house. And I was just so blessed to work with that family. All right, housing market update. Have we said this already? Inventory is low.
Couple times. Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah. So like I said, we're just gonna really hammer this nail home. Inventory is low. Get out there. We don't want builders taking over. We want to help you sell your house. We want to make sure we take control of the market and everything, not the builders. There's a roughly 3-to-1 ratio. For every one house out there, there's 3 buyers. And we kind of see that kind of fluctuating a little bit and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Huge demand.
Yeah. So another thing that's really been common back earlier this year and kind of late of last year, a lot of people were kind of unsteady with the market simply because interest, we didn't know where they're going to end up. But for the last 8 months now, things have really stabilized out. So now that we actually know what to expect, there's a lot more buyers out there, and there's a huge demand to buy properties. So that's why I really emphasize for sellers, like, hey, if this is the time you want to sell and try to upgrade, maybe you want to downgrade, there's plenty of people out there looking for a new home. You just gotta plan the timing accordingly, and that's where we come in.
So why is there a huge demand? I think that's a big question everybody is asking. If we haven't said it already, inventory is low. But like I said, these are just the questions that we're getting, and so we just want to make sure we're hammering them all. So like we said, inventory is low. We want to help, get that inventory up and help people take advantage of their equity and get them into their dream home. I hear a lot of people asking, if I sell my home, where am I going to go? Well, are you living in your dream home? Maybe you're just looking to move to a new neighborhood, a new area. It's all going to come down to you. We can only lay out your options, and then you're the one that's going to say jump, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, new construction. Love new construction. Dylan's hit a lot on the new construction incentives. They have really good low rates and everything. And there's a lot of them out there right now, and they're offering all kinds of deals.
Yeah, for sure. So that's one big thing I was kind of talking about earlier is with all the new construction, you don't have to look in just one area. They're really kind of divided all throughout.
Yeah.
DeSoto County, I've seen some in Marshall County starting to pop up, different spots all around. So with all the great incentives, different locations for you to look at, we can go through, look at their different floor plans and check out all their incentives. And it may be worth going straight into new construction. Maybe the right home for you.
Yeah. And another reason I see some people moving to new construction is everything's new, right?
Oh, brand spanking.
So, fresh paint on the walls, new bathtub. Nobody's dipped their toes in the bathtub or anything like that. Dylan, stay out of my house. So reach out to us if you want to get in connection with some of these builders and get you into new construction. Everything's new on them. I know it's not for everybody, but a lot of people love it, and that's who we're trying to help here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, open house in today's markets. What are the benefits? All right, so if we have an open house, right, and there are people driving by, but we don't have any signs out, we don't do anything. How are they going to know it's an open house? How are they going to know and everything? They might see a for sale sign in the yard, but they might be a little more standoffish, like, I don't want to just drive up to this house. But that's why we want to have open houses and everything, so we can invite them in, so we can show them what your house has in it and what it has to offer.
Yeah, another thing that you kind of were talking about right there, a good thing is when people do have an agent, they have somebody constantly on the lookout for properties like that. But usually we'll hold that open house right there from the get-go once it goes on market. There's tons of people out there that don't have agents, and they may be keeping kind of an eye out, but you have lives, you have things going on. So every once in a while, something will slip your mind. You may not catch it. Versus with open houses, we can constantly blast the market, make sure everybody is aware, throw up as many signs as we can, get some balloons out there, and make sure that people, even though they don't have an agent, it's very apparent that things like that are going on during the weekend, so you don't miss out.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, having a 2.5-year-old at home, things slip my mind, but I'm always back on top of it.
Yeah.
Home exposure, that's another great point. So like he said, we're putting 150 million signs out, not just in your neighborhood, but in the yard. Just that way, it just kind of sheds some light on it. You can't miss it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. So opportunities with open houses. Dylan already kind of touched on this a little bit. Agents are gonna notice a lot of things that are going on in the market, but a lot of people that may not have an agent yet, they drive by and they see those open houses and they're like, oh, I kind of like that house. Maybe I could afford that house. And then you go in and you see it and everything, and it's like, okay, bing, bang, boom. That's gonna be my new house.
Yeah. Well, at least it also connects them to an agent too. That's the other big thing about that, is that if you don't have an agent, I always emphasize to get an agent, because like I said, you have lives going on. You constantly have things with your mind one way or the other. So when you have an agent on board, they're taking care of all the things, keeping the stress off your shoulders. And of course, there's always crazy things going on throughout it, but you have a team to back you up, to keep your head on track and help you through that process. And on top of that, you don't know what kind of opportunities are out there until you talk to an expert like one of us and reach out to different people that can help you get started. So
now hold on. So if I'm a buyer and I get you as an agent, how much do I have to pay you? Do I have to pay you a commission?
Oh, okay. So that's actually one of the best benefits out there right now. So, right now, what most people don't know is that you usually don't pay the buyer's agent anything. A lot of that actually goes from the seller paying the commission. So a lot of buyers are out there thinking, I don't want to hire an agent, it costs too much money, but you're actually not covering those costs. So it's kind of a great idea to reach out to an agent, learn more about what those costs are, what your down payment, closing costs are, different areas, so you'll know whether or not you can afford it, and not just kind of assume that you can when you never know what's out there.
So you're saying that I could be missing out by not having an agent represent me as a buyer?
Just a little
All right.
Just a little.
Well, that's good
I don't
to
think I
know.
put that enough.
That's
have I?
really good information, Dylan. Thank you. So going back into the opportunities. So shop current homes. You know, if somebody's holding an open house, that doesn't, you know, that house is still on the market. You know, it's not closed, it's not pending, it's not already under contract or anything like that. You know that it's on the market and everything.
Yeah. Big green active. Oh, skip
Went too far. All right, cool. So we just did our August giveaway. You know, we did that chance to win the 2 tickets and everything. If you haven't seen that video yet, you know, click over, go ahead and watch that. We announced the winner and everything. So I won't give anything away. But yeah, so thankful again for everybody who calls and supports our team, and just I can't thank you enough for everything you guys do. You guys are the lifeblood of our team and our business and everything, and you are who keeps us going. All right, so going on to the September giveaway first. Stay tuned for more giveaways and prizes. We're trying to get to where we're doing a lot more of those, so keep your eyes open if you like winning free stuff. And
don't forget about Pie Day coming up in Thanksgiving. You gotta make sure you have a pie for the family, and you don't want to miss out on these giant pies that we give away. Like he said, just to kind of give back. We're so thankful, you know, us on the Home Gurus team, for people out there to reach out to us and allow us to be a part of this journey, moving on to the next chapter in your life, and just helping you along the way.
So I've just gotten word. Jen has just called me, and she said for everyone tagging Dylan in the comments, we will, if we get enough of those comments, we will throw a pie in his face. So please add whoever you want to have a pie thrown at them.
You know, I'm down.
I just got the word from the boss, so it's all good there.
I'm missing the same setup you have over there or something, I guess.
Don't worry. It's a new thing. It's a question of the day. All right. What pitfalls or mistakes should I avoid in this process? All right. So, like I said, we're just gonna keep hammering this nail home. You know, I'm just gonna keep talking about it. All right. So, what are the pitfalls we see with sellers? You know, we see them getting too emotionally invested in their properties and everything. And at the end of the day, you know, this is a business, this is a numbers game, and we want to make sure that we get you the highest amount number for your property. All right. We don't want you going into your new home thinking, oh, I feel like I left some money on the table, or you know, I left, you know, something there. You know, we want to make sure you get everything out of it that you put into it and everything.
Yeah, same thing, you know, pretty similar with the buyers. Want to make sure you get the right amount of money into that property going forward. We don't want to come in too high, don't want to go in too low. Just want to make sure that you get approved with the right lender, find the right opportunity so we can save you as much money on the front end, and then coming in hot, making sure that we get your dream home so you don't miss out.
Definitely. So, all right, next question. How do you help buyers stand out? All right, so how do we help buyers stand out?
So I think the big thing is the offer right on the front end. Obviously, there's different factors I mentioned before regarding what kind of approval or type of loan that you got, but also thinking about how much you're gonna, you know, put forward in the offer, how much earnest money you're gonna put forward to make sure it's a secure offer on the front end, and making sure you're one of the first people to come in, because some people are just ready to move out of their house. They're just ready to snatch up whatever comes their way. So we got to be quick, we got to be hot in on it. And, you know, if you don't have an agent, you're kind of slow rolling through the process, you're bound to miss out on some good homes. So
yeah, and kind of going off of that, a lot of times when I've submitted offers in the past, we've had a great deal of success with those agents because they've worked with our team before. They know we do a bang up job. They know we're going to do everything that we say we're going to do. And we just have an incredible team behind us, just making sure each thing is just nailed on the head.
Yeah, for sure. That's good stuff.
Question of the day. How can I increase the selling price? Do I need to make repairs or hire a stager? So I always think of this in 4 categories, right? So repairs, staging, declutter. You might want to declutter before you stage it. And then lawn maintenance, you know, just so you're getting the full thing. You're making sure everything's working properly in your home. You're making sure that it's decluttered, it's nice and clean. When somebody walks in, they're looking around, oh, this is nice, I like this. And then also, when you're staging it, just makes it pop that little extra bit.
Yeah.
And then the lawn maintenance, when they're driving up, if you see a freshly cut lawn design make it look better.
Oh man, it just pulls you right in, doesn't it?
Oh man. Especially being a dad, I've got a soft spot for a lawn. So estimated home price performance, December to December. So this is year over year and everything. So as you can see, there was less than a percent drop this year, less than 1%. So not even anything to worry about. So sometimes the market is mainly doing this. You might see a tiny bit of dip, but then it's going right back up. So you can see in the next, 3-4 years, all it's going to keep doing is this, right? It's going to go up by about 4.5%. All right.
Yeah, one thing over the last year, like I kind of mentioned earlier, was, it was a little bit like this, up and down, but we finally have hit that point where it's starting to stabilize more. And over the year, like you said, it may have dipped a little bit, but over the next, 4 years here, we actually see a potential 4% increase in home equity. So, what's the best time to get in when it's cheaper, right? Get in, see your home equity grow, and, not miss out on anything.
Yeah, get in, go ahead and get that equity and that home working for you.
Yeah.
All right. Fewer homes are being listed for sale. So let's talk a little bit about that. So out of 200 metro areas and everything, we saw what 1% of the metros where new listings increased were unchanged. So 198 of those were
boom in red. Percent of the metros actually had a new listing decrease. So yeah, just think about how much over the U.S. spanned out 200 different spots. Only 198 of those were actually decreasing in the new listing area. So it's just kind of crazy to think about when you put it into perspective.
Yeah, just putting it all out there on a map like that, it's crazy. All right. The longer existing homeowners are in their homes, so let's go into that. Even if they have low mortgage rates, the more likely it is their current home won't meet their needs. So what is that saying?
So what we see pretty often nowadays is people will stick in their home from somewhere between 5 to 7 years, but there are plenty that still stick in their properties a little bit longer. I understand building that equity, but at the same time, plus 7 years, most people have their kids have either moved out at some point. Maybe you might need to downsize a little bit. Maybe you need to just find something a little bit cheaper after, all the years going by. That's why we see it pretty regularly that people are moving in and out within that 5 to 7 year range. And it just makes, with life, different things happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's upgrading, maybe it's downgrading. It's always up to you what you need to do, but staying in the home longer than you need it to versus finding your dream home with one of us just doesn't add up.
Yeah. No. And something else that this kind of tells me, just putting it in perspective, if you see your dream home on the market and everything, you don't want to miss out on it. You don't want to have to wait another 7, 8, 9 years to get into your dream home.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and get it under contract.
Never wait for the right time.
Mortgage rates heavily influence the direction of home sales. Relatively steady rates have led to several consecutive months of consistent home sales. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Influence the direction of home sales. Relatively steady rates have led to several months of consistent home sales. Okay, yeah, it kind of makes sense, especially because people now know what to expect. Like I had mentioned before, it was kind of dipping up and down, up and down. But now that we finally understand what to expect when going in to buy a home, talking to the experts, not just us, but the lenders and the attorneys, and making sure you know what you're going to spend, that gives people that confidence to go in and purchase the home or to sell the home because you actually know what you're getting out of it. So.
Yeah, kind of like what you said. Things are kind of starting to steady out. We don't have that shock factor anymore. So we kind of know what we're getting into right now because things are steadied out. We know where they are, and you don't have to worry about a big upshift or a big change. Really, is what we're talking about there now. All right, cool. And so glad you joined in for Lunch and Learn. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a bunch. Like I said, I'm Noah Lance, and this is
Dylan Rice. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We appreciate your time. If you have more questions to really dig deep into it, feel free to call us, ask away as many questions. If you're thinking about buying or selling in the near future, definitely reach out to us and we'll talk more about it.
All right, bye guys.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.